Hello, David, Kyle Busch Larson. Your name still confuses me, to be honest. I don't know if you're a Kyle Busch fan, a Kyle Larson fan, or both. Or maybe neither. Maybe that's the whole plot twist. You're neither. But, alright. Let's see. Let me get the comments pulled up on my computer so I can know what you guys are saying and not miss anything. I got like on my phone camera here, it says comments, but you know, if I miss them, then darn. I gotta go back, so come on, load. Add. That's a good thing, though. Anyways, Kyle Busch Larson says, Larson is the GOAT, no debate. I would debate that. He's an extremely talented race car driver. Very good, had an amazing season, but the GOAT, that might be a little bit too soon to say. He was the GOAT of 2021 in NASCAR. You could say that, but greatest of all time, that's debatable. Let's see. Let me get the results pulled up of the race. We didn't talk about it yesterday, so we'll talk about it today. Want some more people get in here. Talk about, you know, some of the post-race comments, what happened after the race, all that stuff, and then also, what else? Talk about some of the last things that we saw in the race, and yeah, you know. Larson will win 9 championships by 2022. Yeah, probably with, if that includes dirt and NASCAR. If he goes NASCAR trucks, Xfinity Cup, and Dirt Series, yeah, sure. 9 championships. We'll go for it. We'll say he'll get that. But let's see. Kyle Larson, Terry Labonte, those 2 champions driving the 5 car. Yeah, that was pretty cool to see the 5 car win the championship again. You look at Hendrick Motorsports championships, obviously 7 from Jimmy, 4 from Jeff Gordon. Gordon was there yesterday. He got a picture with the championship trophy. Heck, it's the thumbnail of this live stream. But yeah, that was cool to see how happy him and Rick Hendrick were. But back to the point, 4 from Jeff, 7 from Jimmy, and then, of course, Terry Labonte won 1 in the 5. Elliott won 1 with the 9. So it's cool to see one of the original numbers, one of the first numbers at Hendrick Motorsports actually win the championship again, especially with Kyle Larson, who is so talented, so good. Any race car you put him in, it seems like. But his first year with Hendrick Motorsports as well, I mean, he won, what, his 3rd or 4th race at Las Vegas. And then he ended up winning 10 in a championship. I definitely didn't see that coming. But, yeah, speaking of things that I didn't see coming, I was thinking about, I don't know if it's going to be this week, next week, later this week, this weekend. But I want to do what we did last year, which was a live stream reacting to my preseason predictions. And, you know, last year, some of them went really well, and then some of them went really poorly. So, I don't remember exactly what I predicted this year, so I think it'd be fun to go back, look at that again, react to that with you guys during a live stream. So I may do a poll on what day you want to do that later this week. But as for the future, just these next couple of weeks, the next couple of months without NASCAR, we still got F1. Formula 1 is still in season. Brazil, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi. And then after F1, then I won't know what to do. But I got some plans for some videos and stuff to do in between that time. But nothing is locked solid in yet. Still got some things I want to do with the channel and stuff. So it's a mystery to what's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. But that is one of the things that I want to do. So there you go. There's somewhat of the schedule. Back to this. I called this the day Hendrick signed him. I was called an idiot when I did because he hasn't raced in a stock car in over a year. I mean, I didn't see it coming. A lot of people didn't see it coming. I knew he could win a race. I knew he could make the playoffs. It's not like he was going to show up, be super rusty, and, you know, be awful. But I didn't expect what we saw. I think he had a 2nd place finish in the 2nd race of the season or whatever at Homestead. Obviously, he won at Las Vegas, and then, you know, 10 race wins and a championship. I just didn't see that coming. So, good job to you for calling that, seeing that coming. But I just did not see that at all coming. I saw maybe a race win, 2 or 3 at most, but nothing like what he actually did this season. Hello, AM24, the Red Bull fan. How are you today? I'm going to watch this after the stream and laugh. Yeah, I'm probably going to laugh too. I know I picked Truex for the championship, and that was really close. Really, really close. If Kyle Larson wasn't freaking insane this year, then yeah, I would have gotten 2 straight champions correct. But yeah, I really can't remember what else I picked. And I did, because like last year, the 2 big ones that I missed were Larson making the playoffs in 2020. Oof. And then I picked Buescher to make the playoffs, which that was an oof, but for a different reason. But I can't even remember what else I predicted in 2020. I can't even remember what I predicted for this year other than the Truex Championship. I think my final 4 was like Truex, Logano, Kyle Busch, and Elliott. Maybe. I don't know. But now I got 2 months to think about my 2022 predictions, and those might be the worst ones yet, just because the next gen car, I feel like there could be a few surprises, or there could be a couple of shocks in terms of who does good and who doesn't do good compared to normal. I think the top teams will still find a way to rise to the top, Hendrick, Joe Gibbs, but maybe some of those mid-pack teams might show up with a little bit extra or surprise us. So I don't know. Next year's predictions, I think they're going to be pretty wrong. But yeah, I guess I got to start looking into that. But I got a new hat here. I feel like this is an appropriate time to bust this out, but we'll put it on top of the Jeff Gordon hat. It feels appropriate to wear today. The Kyle Larson beanie, since he won the championship. Yeah, you can see the 5 right there. Look at that. But yeah, he won the championship, if you missed that. But all right, let's look at the results of the race. We did not do that yesterday. We only looked at the championship 4, but let's look at the results. Obviously, Kyle Larson, your champion. We talked about that. Truex second, Hamlin third. 4th place, Ryan Blaney. I mean, he seemed to be the best non-championship guy all day. I would say him or Harvick, but Harvick ended up, I think, 9th, maybe 8th, according to this. So Blaney, good day, good way to close out the season. He had a really good year, 3 wins, the most of his career. His first time winning multiple races in a season. Just a good year for him. I mean, a good way to finish it off. So, good for him. 6th place, Eric Amarilla. Really strong finish to the year for them. But at the same time, this result shouldn't be too shocking because this track, in terms of the way it races, in terms of, not just the way it races, but in terms of the type of car you bring to the track and also the type of track it is, the 1 mile kind of flat track that has a little bit of speed. It's similar to New Hampshire, so I feel like Almirola 6th should not be too big of a shock. But yeah, really good day for him. He had an awful year other than the win, but a 6th place finish, good way to finish off the year. Burning Rubber asks, who wins the next championship for Mr. Hendrick? Ooh, that's a good question. Larson or Elliott, maybe Byron. One of those 3. Bowman can win races. Bowman can make a deep playoff run, but he hasn't shown me enough for a championship. Byron hasn't shown me enough for a championship yet, but he had times where he was extremely consistent this year. So if he can put it all together, like 1 full season versus these spurts of 6 to 7 races, and then having 3 to 4 bad races, then it could happen. But I would say Larson or Elliott right now. Let's see. Back to the results. Kyle Busch 7th. Good for him. I don't know what else to say on that. 8th place, Kevin Harvick. He led a few laps today. He looked like the best car at times, like in the first stage. Led some laps, passed some of the championship 4 guys, took the lead. Obviously, a lot of wins at Phoenix in his career. But, wow. Kevin Harvick, after 9 wins last year, was winless in 2021. That was probably the biggest shock of 2021, that he was winless. I expected him to win a few races. I knew he wasn't going to win 9 again because, that's extremely hard to duplicate. But I expected 3 or 4 wins this year, maybe even 5. But 0 wins. And it's not like they were awful. They were pretty consistent. They got a lot of top 10s. They got some top 5s. They led some laps. They won some stages. They did all that stuff. But, you know, I guess, I don't know. They just couldn't figure out a way to win this year. So, I don't know what else to say with that. But top 10, I feel like that's where they ran most of the year. 8th to 9th place was about that's probably their, I mean, with the exception of all those DNFs and stuff, you know, like driving into the wall at the Charlotte Roval. I feel like that might be around their average finish. I think they had 23 top 10s or something like that. Christopher Bell, 9th. Good close to his first full-time season with JGR. He got a win this year, which was a big deal. That was really cool to see. Really happy for him, obviously, but 9th place, not a bad finish. 10th place, Brad Keselowski. Here we go. Here's our first final. His final race with Team Penske. I'm not going to lie, this thing's kind of like, feels a little bit weird on top of the hat. I can kind of feel it, so we'll go back to the regular hat here. But, yeah, his final race with Team Penske, top 10. I guess that's good, but I'm sure he wanted more. But obviously moving to Roush Fenway Racing next year, really good career for him at Team Penske. Obviously he was in the Hendrick camp for a bit, eventually went to Team Penske when some complications happened, and obviously he made a name for himself. He won an Xfinity championship, won a Cup championship. He won, 36, 37 races. And fun fact of the day, I was at Brad Keselowski's last one with Team Penske. I didn't think about that till like 11 o'clock last night, but I thought that was the weirdest thing. Kind of cool. But, yeah, obviously sad for Team Penske, him as well, but going their separate directions. Austin Cindric stepping into that car. I'm sure he'll do a great job. Brad going to Roush Fenway Racing, driver-owner role, so that'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But, yeah, then we got Joey Logano 11th, Matt DiBenedetto 12th, and his last race with the Wood Brothers. I don't know if he's going to get a Cup ride. I don't know where he's going to be next year, but it'll be interesting to see. 13th, Cole Custer. 14th, Ross Chastain. The last race for Chip Ganassi Racing. It's tough. Tough scene. Obviously, Chip Ganassi Racing has been in the series for 21 years. 20, 21? Somewhere around that time. And, yeah, solid team over the years, you know, no championships, but still they won a lot of races. They won the Daytona 500, Brickyard 400. They've won at a lot of different tracks. So, you know, they didn't win championship, but they got a lot to be proud of. Chip Ganassi, obviously a big fan of motorsports, a big motorsports guy. He owns an IndyCar team, owns an IMSA team. So, yeah, a lot to be proud of for Chip Ganassi Racing, the NASCAR side of things. Obviously not the way they wanted it to turn out at the end, but they did get one final win this year, so that was pretty special for them, I'm sure. But we say goodbye to Chip Ganassi Racing, and yeah, it's going to be weird for sure not to see a number 42 Chip Ganassi car out there, to not see the number 1 being a Chip Ganassi car out there. So I'm looking forward to the future, looking forward to see what Trackhouse can do, to see how they can move their program forward. But yeah, obviously Chip Ganassi Racing, we are going to miss them. Did a lot for NASCAR, and yeah, hopefully Chip Ganassi can make his way out to a race as a fan or something like that. 15th, Austin Dillon. 16th, Kurt Busch, the other Chip Ganassi guy, but as I don't think I mentioned this, but Chastain, he's going to Trackhouse next year. Kurt Busch going to 23XI, so 2 of the newest teams in the NASCAR Cup Series is where the current Chip Ganassi guys are going. Ganassi obviously got bought out by Trackhouse, so Chastain's not going too far, whereas Kurt Busch is going to Toyota. He's going to Denny Hamlin, Michael Jordan team, and he's kind of going to be like teammate-ish to his brother, so that'll be an interesting dynamic. Let's see. 17th, William Byron. I thought he would have finished in the top 10. That's a little disappointing, but yeah, he had a good season. He had ups and downs. There was a bit back in April, May, early June that he had a long top 10 streak going, and he looked really good at the time, but he kind of cooled off in the summer. was a little bit inconsistent at the beginning of the playoffs, but they showed a lot of speed at the end of the playoffs, led a lot of laps, won a couple stages. So, yeah, looking forward to see how they do next year to see if they can put the 24 back in victory lane. 18th Alex Bowman, voice crack, wow. 19th Tyler Reddick, 20th Ryan Preece. Ryan Preece, his plans are TBD. We don't know where he's going to be next year, what he's going to be doing next year. But back to the questions. Are you surprised Matt McCall will be the crew chief for Brad Keselowski next year? I thought he'd move over with Chastain. I thought McCall might have gone with Kurt to 2311. I thought that they did pretty well together. They seemed to have liked each other a bit. But I don't think he would have gone with Chastain. I don't even know who Chastain's crew chief is going to be. It might be the same one he has right now. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but I don't know if surprise is the right word. It's not like a shocking move. Like, oh my gosh, Chip Ganassi Racing, they're kind of in a position where it's like you can leave, you can stay with Trackhouse or whatever. I feel like it's an awkward middle ground. So it's not like he got fired. It's not like he's been planning to leave Chip Ganassi Racing forever. Like, he kind of got forced to leave to do something else, to go find something else. So I don't know if surprised is the right word, but I'm curious to see how it goes. Brad's going from a Ford to a Ford, but he's going to a different Ford team, a team that's underperformed the past few years, a team that used to be on the top of NASCAR and now is kind of a mid-pack team. And Matt McCall, he's been with kind of a B-tier team, I would say. They can get top 10s. They can compete for a win every once in a while at Chip Ganassi. And now he's going to that team to help Brad Keselowski kind of rebuild. So I think it'll be an interesting dynamic, especially with the new car. But, yeah. Also, another thing we were saying goodbye to, these things right here. Lug nuts. Look at this lug nut. Look at it. Get a good glimpse at it. This is from Chase Elliott's pit stall from Talladega this year. Good old lug nut. Back in the day, I can say that now. Back in the day, like all 1 days ago, they used to go zoop, 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 zoop. Next year, and from probably forevermore in the Cup Series, they're just going to go zoop, zoop, and that will be a pit stop. Obviously, they're going to still go around to all four tires, but you're no longer going to hear the zoop, 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 zoop. You're only going to hear one zoop. So no more of these beautiful lug nuts, the little things you can put on the tips of your fingers. No more of these. Oh, lovely. I probably shouldn't have done that. I got grease and stuff on it. That was smart, real smart of me. Luckily, I got a paper towel, though. Look at that. As smart as I am, or as dumb as I am, I should say. I'm smart sometimes. But, yeah. Those are gone. We're going to have bigger wheels. Next gen car. This is the last race of the Gen 6. Never going to see it again. One of the most controversial cars. They changed the package like every 5 minutes until they didn't want to change it anymore. And when they didn't want to change it, it was the crap package. So, good job, NASCAR. You changed this car every 5 minutes. And then when you decided you didn't want to change it anymore was when it was at its worst. So, good job, NASCAR. If you want a trophy, I will make you a trophy. I'll make it with like all $20 I have. It'll be an awful trophy because it's an awful, not the Gen 6 as a whole, but the last 3 years, awful, terrible. It had its moments where it was good. It had some exciting races, but yeah. I don't know what else to say. I could go into a rant. Gosh, no, I don't want that on my computer. These pop up. If you update your computer now, I will update it when I want to update it. Anyways, what were we talking about? Next gen car, yeah. So this is the last race with the Gen 6, last race with these beautiful lug nuts. I'm going to show it again just because it's so beautiful. They'll still run these in the Xfinity and trucks, so, it's not like they're going away forever, but still, I don't know, I'm going to miss them. I'm going to miss them so much. But then also you've got the numbers. Numbers are moving on the cars. NASCAR is really if their goal is to frustrate fans, they're doing a great job. They really are. Like, if they should get a trophy for how much they're frustrating us. I mean, at least me. At least I know some of you like the number being moved. I know some of you liked the 550 package, but I was not a fan. I know there are a lot of other people who weren't fans, so their goal was to divide the fan base and make people mad. I should get a trophy. Anyways, I'm looking forward to the next gen car, though. As much crap as I'm giving this, 550 stuff, I am looking forward to the next gen car. It's going to be a completely new car. It's going to be a new look. It's going to be a new feel. There's going to be a lot of excitement around it. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. This car is built more specifically to the short tracks and road courses so they can handle better there. This past generation of car, that was built for the intermediate tracks. That was built to run there more. And they were a little bit bigger and bulkier on these short tracks, these road courses. So I think that the next-gen car on the road courses and short tracks, I think that those races, as entertaining as they already are, I think they could be more entertaining, and I think that's a great thing. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those races are on the short tracks, road courses with this next-gen car, to see how hooked up they are, to see how good they handle, see how good they look on the track, see the kind of racing we get. I think it'll be extremely exciting. So I am looking forward to the next-gen car. Gen 6 was kind of the car. That's the car I've seen the most. I became a fan in 2010. Gen 6 was introduced in 2013, and it last ended in 2021. Fun fact of the day, the 48 car won the first race of the Gen 6, and technically it won the last race of the Gen 6 because the 5 car used to be the 48 car, so they won the first and the last race of the Gen 6. Kind of poetic. Also, I find it extremely poetic. I think I put this in the description of yesterday's video, that Kyle Larson, an ex-Chip Ganassi Racing driver, wins the last race that Chip Ganassi Racing is in. I thought that was pretty cool. Anyways, we got way off there. Jamie McMurray wins the Daytona Coke 0400 Brickyard same year. He did not win the Coke 0400 that year. He won the Daytona 500, the Brickyard 400, and the Bank of a Roval when it was the Oval 400. So the Fall Charlotte race in 2010. But he did not win the Coke 0400 that year. So, yeah, back to the results of the race. I forgot where we were. Ryan Preece, we said that. Suarez 21st, Jones 22nd, Newman 23rd. In what could have been the last race that we saw. The Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. Good career. Obviously, he had a runner-up in a championship one year. The year that we don't talk about. As a Jeff Gordon fan, I don't talk about it. He had, 15, 16 career wins. He had that one year where he had 8 or 9 wins. I mean, he was insane. The Rocket Man, tons of poles. Ryan Newman, he had a really successful career. Obviously not, all-time great career, but still he had a very successful career. Lots of race wins. He won a lot of things, won the Daytona 500. So Ryan Newman has a lot to be proud of. And also, outside of just the racing, him as a driver, he also helped revolutionize NASCAR in terms of the car. Has an engineering degree from Purdue, so helped, with some of the technical stuff with the car, helped with the safety of the car after his accident. So he helped NASCAR in a lot of ways, safety, improving the safety of cars, not just this car like with 2020, but also about 10, 15 years ago when he had a flip. He talked to NASCAR about changing the car tomorrow at the time, and they did that. So Newman, a big impact on NASCAR in more ways than one. We are going to miss him if he does not come back, but you never know. He could come back part-time. He could find an opening. You never know. 24th, Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell won the Daytona 500 this year. Definitely didn't have him in the playoffs. Definitely didn't see him winning the Daytona 500, but successful year for Front Row Motorsports. 25th, Chris Buescher. 26th, Justin Haley. 27th, BJ McLeod. First year for Live Fast Motorsports, Live Fast Racing, whatever they're called. Yeah, they had a top 10 this year. BJ McLeod had a top 10 at Daytona. Let's go. Success. Get loud for McLeod, ladies and gentlemen. 28th, Cody Ware. 29th, Joey Gase. 30th, Josh Bilicki. 31st, Garrett Smithley. 32nd, Corey LaJoie. 33rd, David Starr. 34th, Anthony Alfredo. 35th, Chase Briscoe. He wins Rookie of the Year. He didn't have much competition, but good job. I like Chase Briscoe. He had a really good shot at the win at the Indy Road Course. But, SHR was just so off this year. I feel like he didn't really get a full... It was his rookie year, so, it's tough. But speaking of SHR, golly, man. Tony Stewart is probably screaming at Ford right now. If you didn't know, Tony Stewart very much appreciates Kyle Larson and his talent. In fact, when Kyle Larson was a free agent last year after he got fired and stuff, Tony Stewart went to Ford and he said, this guy's going to win you races and championships. You hire him now. Trust me. It may be a PR difficulty for a bit, but trust me on this one. He will win us races. And Ford said, no, no, thank you. No. And Tony said, you guys are dumb. And then, Larson went to Hendrick and Chevrolet, and you know what they did? They won 10 races in championship. And Tony Stewart is probably going to Ford's headquarters right now, or at least their racing headquarters, saying, I told you so, you silly gooses. But yeah, obviously, we could get into that again. But definitely, it was going to be a burden for, the public eye looking at you if you hired Larson after what he did. It was going to be difficult for any team that hired him. So, you can understand you're going to get backlash for hiring him. You can understand why Ford would say no. But when you got Tony Stewart, a 3-time champion, a guy who can drive in anything, he's won IndyCar races, he's won Cup races, he's won dirt races, a guy who is talented in all aspects. I mean, yesterday after the race, Tony Stewart said that Kyle Larson is the most talented driver he has ever seen. Tony Stewart's seen a lot of guys. He's seen AJ Foyt, Mario Andretti, Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, blah, 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 blah. Lots of guys. He's seen a lot of guys race, and he just said Kyle Larson is the most talented guy he's ever seen. That is a heck of a compliment. So when Tony Stewart speaks, I think Ford's going to listen next time. So, obviously still controversial on like that. During that time, that was still controversial, but I'm sure Tony Stewart he may not be furious at Ford, but he may be just saying, I told you so, or something like that. All right, let's see here. Back to the comments. Ryan Newman, hard pass driving. Yes, he is hard to pass. How many winners next year before the playoffs start? I don't know. At least one. Let's see. 4 Hendricks will win. The 4 Gibbs will win. That's 8. At least we'll go with Blaney and Logano will win. I'm not 100% on Cindric. Maybe he will. I could see him winning with the road courses. I could see him winning. So what is that? 4, 8, 10. What other teams are there? Harvick will win. That's 11. Well, I still think he'll win. 11. I feel like there will be a surprise winner. So surprise winner will be the 12th slot. AJ Allmendinger will be the 13th slot. There's a lot of road courses and he's racing next year. Kurt Busch will be slot number 14. One of the Trackhouse guys might win. That might be 15. We'll go somewhere in that range. I haven't looked too much into it, but 15, maybe 15. We'll go with that. How many winners were there this year? We had Larson. He won this year, if you didn't know. So we had the 400 guys who won, 4 Gibbs guys who won. That's 8. All 3 Penske guys won. That's 11. Harvick didn't win. 11. Bubba won. That's 12. Allmendinger's 13. McDowell's 14. 14. I think that's how many winners we had this year. 14. Unless I'm forgetting someone. Kurt, that's 15. Kurt is 15. Amarilla is 16. We had 16 different winners this year. I think 16. Hello, NASCAR fan 93100. Kyle Larson is only the second driver younger than Selena Gomez to win a NASCAR Cup Series championship. What a very, very random fact that I did not know. Thank you, I think. Extremely random, but interesting, I guess. Kind of forgot Selena Gomez existed, to be honest with you. Let's see here. Stenhouse 36, Quinn Houff 37th. I'm going to try not to cry during this portion. Starcom Racing. My hair's a little crazy, but Starcom Racing. Salute. Everyone salute. Starcom Racing. You guys were the best team in NASCAR history. For real, though, outside of the meme, Starcom Racing, it was fun to watch, and they had some runs. They had a couple top 15s. It was really fun to watch, and they were a meme and stuff. But they had some really cool drivers. Derek Cope, Landon Castle, obviously Quinn Houff. And Quinn Houff, he had like a 13th place at Talladega last year. But he did have his moments where he had some dumbs, like Texas 2020. But Starcom, they almost won with Landon Castle if they just had decided to stay out. But Starcom Racing, you were more than a meme. We love you, Starcom Racing. We are going to miss you. Salute to the greatest team in the history of NASCAR, and this is coming from an honest Hendrick Motorsports fan. Starcom Racing, best team of all time. I miss them already. I cried myself to sleep last night remembering that Starcom would not be back. I'm following up that hashtag. We're going to make that trend on the Twitter, the Instagram, the Face. What did they changed Facebook's name? Hold on. Meta, the Metagram, or just the Meta. The Twitch, the YouTube. We're going to make thank you Starcom. Starcom. We're going to make it trend on every social media platform. It's going to be #1 trend worldwide with a cajillion retweets, whatever the retweet of Instagram is, metas, YouTube's, what was the other one? Twitch, retwitch. Yeah. Everyone make that trend on the social medias. I know there's only 6 people watching this on the YouTube, but I'll make a video about Starcom, and I will try to make it get some views. I will promote it. Anyways, I'm going to miss Starcom. Yeah, I really am. I really am. I'm going to miss Starcom. I miss them. I really do. Starcom. Yeah, Starcom. One last go Starcom. Go Starcom. We will not forget you. We will miss you every single race. I will make it my personal goal to mention Starcom Racing in every race recap and put them in the honorary 37th position every single week. But Starcom Racing, we love them. 38th, Timmy Hill. 39th, Bubba Wallace. First year with 2311, got his first career win. I was there for that. That was really cool. Yeah, I was up close with it. That was really cool. Like, if I make like a top moments of the channel from the year, that will probably be #1. But yeah, being up close to that was really cool. Seeing 2311 win was really cool. But yeah, really cool. Obviously, they didn't make the playoffs or anything, but they still won a race. So, success. Now they carry that momentum to 2 cars next year. Hello, in between the lanes. Kyle Larson's 2021 championship stats are better than MTJ's 2017 stats. I know the wins are more. I think it was like 10-8 or something. I don't know about top 5. I know he led more laps. I don't know about, let's see, top 5s, top 10s. Let's see. So Larson this year had, there's some dog barking, lovely. Larson had 20 top 5s, 26 top 10s. Truex had Martin Truex Jr. What do you mean there's no result for Martin Truex? You know what? Okay, Martin Truex. Put that in. There you go. All right, you wanted me to put the freaking comma there, you silly internet, you. Truex in his championship season had 19 top 5s, 26 top 10s. He only had 1 more pole, and that was with a full year of qualifying. That's very interesting. 8 wins, 19 top 5s, 26 top 10s, 22, 53 on the lap sled. I think Larson's was like 26 something. So it was actually closer than I expected, but Larson did edge him out in almost every category, or was tied in every category. My favorite NASCAR race, Dover for Hendrick. I'm not sure what you're trying to say there. I too was happy Bubba won Talladega. Yeah, I'm happy for him too. I'm hoping that they can carry that momentum into next year with next gen car. Extra with having Kurt Busch help. I think that'll be a big help for Bubba Wallace. But yeah. But yes, we have gone through the full results of the NASCAR Cup Series championship race. Let's see, the things we mentioned. Chip Ganassi Racing, Brad Keselowski, Starcom, miss you already. Oh yeah, we talked about these puppies. The end of the small lug nuts, the 5 lug nuts. We talked about the end of the number placement. We talked about the end of the Gen 6. We talked about guys moving, Ryan Newman, Ryan Preece, Ross Chastain, Matt DiBenedetto. We talked about a lot of stuff. But I guess we'll go to just whatever it may be now that we talked about everything. Oh, random F1 side note. Perez got a home podium. That was so cool. That was so fun to watch. It was worth missing the first 10 laps of the Cup race to watch Perez and his dad celebrate that podium. His dad was so happy. It was so wholesome. It made me so happy. I was smiling. Perez got a home podium. The Mexican fans were so happy. And Sergio Perez's dad was also super happy, which is so fun to watch and made me so happy. Yes. Then we got Brazil this week. We have a sprint race this week again. The last 2 times there's been a sprint race, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton have tried to kill each other. So, looking forward to this one. Let's see. Kyle Larson also had a better finish than 2021 than Truex in 2017. Interesting. MTJ post-race almost would have had 4 championships, 18, 19, 21. 18 he would have won if Logano didn't just come out of nowhere. 19, I forget what happened in 19, but I know Kyle Busch won. And then obviously this year, because Kyle Larson was insane this year. So, yeah. Also, Jeff Gordon was so happy yesterday, him and Rick Hendrick. I'm a huge Jeff Gordon fan, as the hat says, so that was extremely exciting to see how happy he was. I talked about that a little bit in the post-race video yesterday. If you haven't seen that, go watch that. Go watch the post-race video, everyone. If you've not seen the post-race video from yesterday, go watch it. MTJ scored 7 wins in 2019. I knew he had a lot of wins, but I'm just thinking back to the championship race. The championship race specifically. Kyle Larson pit stop is good. That was an amazing pit stop. Second fastest pit stop of the season. That won them the championship. So that pit crew deserves a raise of some sort. A raise, a bonus, a big trophy. Like a, obviously I'm sure they get some type of trophy, some type of ring. But they deserve another one because they won that championship there. Sheldon Creed and Austin Hill for Richard Childress Racing in Xfinity 2022. Yeah, I'm excited for Austin Hill. Sheldon Creed as well. Creed, he's done great in the Truck Series. He won the championship last year. This year, he had a championship caliber season, but unfortunately was eliminated early. But had a really good year regardless. Austin Hill's had some good years in the Xfinity Series as well. So I'm excited for both of them. I'm really curious to see how they do in the Xfinity Series, to see if they can, continue their success. Really looking forward to that. Also, it's like that time of year with the daylight savings where the sunset's at like 4:30, 4:45, and I don't like it. It's like 4:48 right now. It's almost dark. It's my least favorite time of the year, simply because of that. Oh, yeah, that Truex thing. They put the wrong side tires. They put the wrong tires. They put like the right sides on the left and the left sides on the right. I forgot about that. That was Cole Pern's last race too. Yeah. That's unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% sure on what else to talk about and stuff. I feel like I've covered everything. Denny Hamlin, yeah, me and him still have the same amount of championships. That joke gets to continue for at least one more year. You start to feel bad for the guy. I mean, he's done everything in his career, but he just can't get it done in the championship. He's won so many races. He's won every type of race, but he just can't win the championship. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. If you could get one driver's diecast, who would it be? Oh, that's a good question. I have quite a few diecasts. In fact, back home in Texas is my Chase Elliott Championship diecast. They got delivered like last week because it takes a year to ship those things because they got to make it. It's a pre-order thing. So when I get home over Thanksgiving, I'll do a review on that. You guys will get to see that, and that will be fun. But yeah, if I got one diecast, I have the 164 Gordon Martinsville win. This is tough. I don't know. It's going to be a Gordon one. I just don't know which one. Gordon, 2011 Atlanta race win. If that was available, I would buy it, and I would probably raise my budget for that. I don't like spending money for the most part, but if that thing showed up online, I would spend money on that because that was one of my favorite wins of his. 2021 was a disastrous season for SHR. Yes, it was. Amarilla had the most wins for SHR this year. If you told me that going into the season, I would have genuinely blocked you from the comments section if you said Amarilla was going to have the most wins from SHR this year. Or I would have said you're really dumb and you're a new NASCAR fan who needs to rethink everything. Like, Amarilla had a win. He had 100% more wins than Kevin Harvick, Chase Briscoe, and Cole Custer combined. You know, Custer's win last year was a little bit fluky, and, he was extremely inconsistent outside of that, and he was extremely inconsistent this year. Briscoe was a rookie, so I could see him going winless, which he did. But Harvick winless was like the shock of the year, probably, if you ask me. That was... Bubba Wallace had more wins than Kevin Harvick this year. Eric Almirola had more wins than Kevin Harvick this year. AJ Allmendinger on a part-time schedule had more wins than Kevin Harvick this year. Who else? Michael McDowell had more wins than Kevin Harvick this year. Me and Kevin Harvick had the same amount of wins in 2021. My lug nut that I picked up in the pit stall had more wins, or the same amount of wins as Kevin Harvick this year. I want to get my hands on a Kyle Larson 2021 NASCAR Authentics. Yeah, that'd be a cool one. Obviously, the championship diecast would be cool to have. 2020, I just read that. When you see a FedEx truck, do you ever say it's Denny, the delivery guy, Hamlin? No. But whenever I see him, I think, hey, that delivery truck driver has the same amount of cup titles as Denny Hamlin. I bet you've never heard that joke before. God, Denny Hamlin's watching this. He's probably going to think I'm just the biggest Denny Hamlin hater ever, and he's going to say I smell and that I'm awful. I don't know. Sorry, Denny, but you make it too easy to joke about you. You make it too easy, Denny. Denny Hamlin's also never won the Brickyard. Yeah. So this year he got dumped by an SHR car. The year before he blew a tire in front of an SHR car. So, while leading, I should add. Denny Hamlin just can't get it done at the Brickyard. Dude, imagine if they made the Brickyard the championship race. Denny Hamlin would have the worst time ever. Golly. That's like just like punching someone twice in the throat. Like, ugh. If they ever did that to Denny, that would be cruel. That would be extremely cruel. That would be like you know, making the Daytona 500 the championship race for Tony Stewart or something. Okay, actually, Tony Stewart can win a championship, so Mark Martin, I guess. Oh, man, that'd be cruel. Even though Eric Almirola got SHR's lone win in 2021, the season is Eric's worst driving season for SHR. Yeah. I had him missing the playoffs, which was looking great until, you know, he decided to actually try at New Hampshire. But other than New Hampshire and Phoenix, he was poo. He was awful. There were literally weekends where he was in an SHR car and he ran 30th based off speed. That is terrible. That is horrific. That is absolutely terrible. I like to think that they're focusing 100% on the next-gen car and they didn't want to spend money on upgrades for this car when it was the last year. But if they suck again next year, I don't know what to think. I have a feeling 2021 may be one of Denny Hamlin's last chances to win a title considering where he is at in his career. Yeah, I could see that for sure. But also these last 3 years, I feel like it's just that him and Chris Gabehart really figured out the setup. They figured out the Gen 6. They figured out the package. They figured out everything. And everything's changing this year. The car is changing. Some of the packages are changing. So I feel like this would have been the year that they would have had to get it. But the last 3 years, they had everything figured out. They had the 550 figured out. They had the 750 figured out this year. They had everything figured out possible, but couldn't get it done. So this could have been the last opportunity. But I still expect Hamlin to win races and compete for championships. But I think you could be right that this is his last year to win a championship. But I wouldn't be shocked if he still competed and potentially won one in the next 3 or 4 years. Oh, we got some breaking news. All right. Whoa. Get your math ready. We got some breaking news here on the live stream. Speedway Motorsports has agreed to acquire Dover Motorsports for $3.61 per share, $131.5 million sale expected to close by the end of the year. Dover owns Dover and Nashville Super Speedway. I'm pretty sure Speedway Motorsports is SMI. SMI, they own Texas, Charlotte, Sonoma, Bristol, anything with a motor speedway at the end. And then they also rented out or leased Coda for that race. But yeah, I guess they're going to operate Nashville and Dover now. I think, unless I'm misinterpreting that. I could be. Wow, interesting. That was exciting. We got breaking news up here. Wow, that was exhilarating. Kyle Larson like Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson like Chase Elliott. I agree with that. Obviously, it's going to be tough to reach the numbers they got, but imagine a Hendrick Motorsports dominating era where Chase Elliott has a season like he did last year. That was a very Jimmy Johnson season in that, you know, they won some races in the regular season. They did good, but then in the playoffs, they just started to tear it up. They won a ton of races. They led a ton of laps, top fives and everything. They waited till the end of the year to really just turn it up. But then Larson had a Jeff Gordon-like season in his championship years where he just dominated everyone throughout the season. He won every race possible, double-digit wins, led the most laps, broke a bunch of NASCAR records. That's what Larson did this year, so I would say Larson is more like Gordon and Elliott's more like Johnson, and this could be an interesting dynamic. But hopefully it doesn't get to like a, you know, like a, the only comparison I have is like an F1 comparison, like a Senna, Prost, or a Rosberg, Hamilton, where they start wrecking each other. They can't even be in the same room as each other. They start signing contracts that say he can't be my teammate, or Hendrick's going to be like, oh, gosh, darn. But, yeah, it'll be an interesting dynamic. Also, as a Hendrick Motorsports fan, I really hope that they are both Hendrick for life guys. Woo Hendrick Motorsports. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up. But as I said earlier in this live stream, I'll look to do another live stream maybe this week on just rewatching my preseason predictions. That will be funny because some of them will be dumb. Some of them will be spot on. Some of them will be close. But, yeah, we'll do that sometime this week. Maybe a Friday night or something, Saturday night. But we still got F1 going on. I'll still do that. We'll talk about Brazil. We'll talk about Qatar. We'll talk about Abu Dhabi. We'll talk about Saudi Arabia. So, yeah, that'll be fun. I'll make some other F1 videos, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to that, to kind of step out of the just the race recaps, trying to do something else with F1. I kind of want to do that. I've been wanting to do that, but now that NASCAR's over, I actually have the opportunity to do that, so I may do that. I'm looking forward to it. But, yeah, thanks for watching this live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys for the support this season, through the NASCAR season. I had a great time this season. Got to go to a few races. Got to go to my first ever All-Star event. Got to go to the inaugural COTA race. That was really cool. And then, of course, Talladega, getting, like, press credentials, going into the pits, going to Victory Lane and stuff. Being up close was extremely cool. So, thank you guys for the support all season. It seriously means a ton to me. Like, this year's just been, for me personally, it's been a really weird year, and you guys have really made it somewhat good, which has been really nice, and I really appreciate the support. So to every one of you who's watching right now, if you've liked the video, liked the live stream, subscribed, you guys are awesome. If you have disliked, if you have commented that I suck, I like you too. Thank you as well, because I like it when people give opinions. I don't care what your opinion is, as long as you're giving an opinion. I'm going to disagree, I'm going to agree, whatever it may be, but thank you for the support. So, yeah, thanks again, and have a great rest of your day, great rest of your night. Hendrick Motorsports won another championship. Woo! I don't know what else to say, so I'm going to log out here. Have a great rest of your night and a great rest of your week, I guess.